Welcome to the battleground of the gods.
Welcome, challengers, to Battleground of the Gods, a Smite podcast. I am your host, DEP Nation, and joining me today we have Riggs.
What it do?
And that's it. It's just the boys.
Fro is out there being Santa Claus for everybody at Amazon. And Nev is just sad that Tennessee didn't make the Final Four for the college football playoffs, so she's taking a grievance day. Yeah.
Yep. She's big nap hours, I imagine. No, I mean
she's been having overtime too. So
yeah. There's a lot of overtime going on with a lot of people. I'm busy with work. I'm doing my best to not have overtime, and so when I get home, I just want to like sit down and not do anything. And my big thing now is like, man, I've got like 4 Smite games to my name this week.
I feel that, dude. I didn't have any until yesterday.
Yeah. Well, and so I played a couple of games. I played one game of Smite, and it was just a normal arena. I random queued, but on the other team, Split Push, former Smite podcast, Split Push character name on the enemy team, Neath mirror match. I do not end up asserting Neath dominance. I cannot call myself a real Neath main. I have been defeated and thus started my Neath losing streak. I played Neath in 2 more games and took 2 more L's. Although those 2 games, both games, grouped up with a good old Coffin Monkey making Moonlight return to Smite. Me and Fro were playing some Blood Bowl, hanging out in the Bryce chat in the Discord, and who joins us? Coffin Monkey says, "Hey man, let's play some Smite." So I finish up my Blood Bowl game, hop in an arena with Coffin. He's getting, he's getting it back. He hasn't played for a while. He's on the sticks. It is what it is. And Fro ends his Blood Bowl, and we queue up a slash, and unfortunately it felt like we were against a pre-made. You know how some of those go. They're doing everything right, and Coffin Monkey's still trying to figure out how to build. His items have changed so much since he was last. I think he last played when Slash came out.
So it's been a while since I've seen Coffin in the Discord like playing games.
Yeah. So unfortunately for the 2 games we were with Coffin, we took some L's, but it was fun nonetheless, playing with some community members we haven't seen in a while. And then just before recording here, queued up an arena, and I'm in chat with Riggs while we're doing this, and I'm like, oh boy, thought I would get in one more game, and we all picked mages, and the lobby chat was the best because someone locked a Cuckoo instantly. I'm like, oh man, that's Coffin Monkey energy at its finest. But another guy hovered Nox. Third guy insta-locks Chronos. And it's like, all right, I type in chat, okay, guess we're all going mages then, huh? And one other guy was on board, and I hover my Anubis, and the guy hovering Nox instantly hovers like Neja or something. And the whole chat was like, oh, no trust, come on, trust, we gotta do this, trust, man, trust. And so we end up getting the 2 more mages. We win. I'm not sure how much of a victory we can claim because they did have a DC, but we did win with all mages.
That is huge. I'm not gonna lie.
It felt pretty great. It felt pretty great. But those were my games this week. Riggs, how were your games?
Yes, sir. So I did the thing where I was busy most of the week, right? And weekend comes around, and I look at my Smite history, and I go, wow, I really haven't played a lot of games this week. Mm-hmm. So I did the thing. I haven't done this in a long time, but I'm pretty sure because I didn't have any plans on Saturday. I was like, fuck it. I got all my grocery shopping out of the way on Friday. Did all the chores I needed to do. I'm gonna do them today. I got some homework to do, but like other than that, I had nothing on Saturday. So you know what? I think I played Smite for about 11 hours straight, and that's
fucking wild. Jesus Christ.
It was something. Let me tell you. I gotta I got a lot of.
I was gonna
this,
say,
I've got a
if you
huge
don't,
spectrum of the Smite experience right there.
yeah, if you don't have receipts, that's gonna be horrible to try and remember what happened in each game.
Yeah, for some reason my Smite Guru works if I don't check my match history, and then if I want to check my match history, it might as well not exist. I always get like this, but it's like the little thing pops. It's like, ooh, you've been attacked by a bug or whatever. Like,
ooh,
this cute little message pops up. It's like, hey, go fuck yourself, and I'm like, all right,
okay then.
So, looking at my Smite game history though, in the actual Smite client.
Oh, Smite client.
Been slam jamming some jungle. I think I'm officially back to my roots as a jungler. I just can't be asked to play solo that much, dude. It's just like, I feel like it's just so boring. It's just like, I don't know. It's hard to describe it. It's one of those times where the early game is so dictated by your jungler. If your jungler comes over, it's a pretty early gank, a little bit of a cringe gank, you might say. Your whole laning phase gets dictated by that for the most part. Like if their jungler comes and ganks you and yours doesn't, it just puts you behind, and it's a whole thing. Then you get invaded. It's not fun to me. So I'd rather play as the jungler who does that shit to the solo laner.
Hell yeah.
Rather ruin their game. I'm a big fan of ruining.
Are you toxic?
Games.
Are you toxic jungler?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of ruining people's Smite experiences. That's partially why I like playing solo sometimes, because it's just I can just pick a backliner and say, hey buddy, I noticed you queued up this Smite game. You probably shouldn't have, because I'm gonna make it to where you can't play.
Yeah, but that's end game, and you have to get to the end game, right? That's
yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing too. You play solo, and I do end up solo queuing a lot of the times, and so I'll be playing solo lane. And I'll look over at my team. It's like that perfect meme of Donald Glover in what's that show? Atlanta, is that the show? Some show. I forget the show title, but it's like the show that he's like the star in. I haven't watched it, but It's the picture of him when he walks into the room and the whole entire room is on fire, and it's like that's.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shoot, what is that? Yeah,
I don't remember the name of the show. I want to say it's Atlanta. I think something like that.
No,
is it not?
No, it's. Oh, this is gonna bother me. Keep going. I'll think of it.
Look it up. Look up Donald Glover's show.
Community.
But is it Community?
Yeah.
I thought
he is in Atlanta. But
I think
the one
is
where
from Atlanta though, isn't it?
I think that meme's from Community.
Oh shit. Well, I haven't watched either, so I don't know.
Well, hold on. Does he look like young and nerdy, or does he look like a badass?
I mean, he always looks like a badass. Fucking.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, though.
That's Childish.
You
know,
know
put some
exactly.
respect on Childish Gambino, bro.
Listen, Childish Gambino's in Atlanta. Donald Glover's in Community. Is it Donald Glover or is it Childish Gambino?
I think it's Atlanta. I want to say. But it's that meme of like where you walk in, everything's just on fire. That's me most of the time when I play solo by myself. As I'm either ahead or I'm even or whatever, and I look over at the other side of the map and I look at the scoreboard and it's like I have like 1 kill and I'm the only team's kill, and the enemy team has like 16 kills, and my duo lane's like 0-8, my mid laner's like 0-5. It's just like a whole thing. So that's partially why I like playing jungle, because I feel like I have more of an impact. And so I've been playing some fun stuff. Played a game of Scylla jungle for funsies. Popped the fuck off, went 11-2. Little Book of Thoth build with just some other shit, some soul gem, buff soul gems, pretty good.
Is that the meme?
Where did you post it?
I posted it in the recording chat.
Yes.
Okay, that is Community.
That is Community. Okay, I have been proven wrong. I do not watch TV that much, so.
Me either, but it's like I seem to I watched like some episodes of Community, and like it's a good show. I just never like went to start it like beginning to end, and so
that is a perfect representation of playing solo and like rotating to like the mid lane, and you'd be like, "Hi, I'm here, guys," and everyone's like dead or like
right.
The whole
like
map
one
is
guy's
on fire, basically.
One guy's trying to put the fire out, another guy's trying to heal the teammate that's almost dead and cover them. Yeah.
There's a 25-0 jungler running around killing everybody. I'm just like, what is going on over here? it was funny too. I've been playing a lot of jungle, and I queued up a couple of times with Colorado, and I let him play jungle. I was playing support, and he locks in Kleena, and he goes, "Man, I just can't seem to get like any pressure with Kleena. I don't know what's going on." And I was like, well, I just had a game where I went 20-2 on Kleena in the jungle. I was like, I think she's pretty fun. So I played another game of Kleena.
Yeah.
And there was a moment, I went 12-4 in this game. There's a moment where it was like level 2, and they had a Bakasura and a Merlin, and we were at mid camps. and I was just 1v2ing them, like, without really that much trouble at all. And Colorado was like, what the fuck? And I was like, dude, this God's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just, it was fun. That was a fun game. I ended up going last item Midgardian mail because they had a Bakasura, and there was a moment where the Baka was like, all right, it's late game. I'm going to vomit all over this Kleena and just auto attack her to death. And I had a Midgardian mail, and I was like,
no, thank you, sir.
I was like, have fun, buddy. I killed him. I was like half HP. I was like, oh, sucks for you.
Oh, no.
What else is there? Oh, so last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Discord with young Bryce and Trevor and Rick. And we're watching the UFC fights. I don't think it was like a crazy card. It was just some like undercard stuff. But Clay Guida was fighting. Shout out Clay Guida. If you're a fan of UFC, fucking just one of the toughest dudes and one of the most fun fighters to watch because he just doesn't give a fuck. But old man Clay Guida, he's like 40 years old now, how to fight. But
that's a fight at 40. That's wild. That is wild. That's
yeah. It was funny too. We were making fun of like you know how like in all the sporting events they always have like graphics that pop up where it's like this guy is, you know, this is his 10th year doing this or whatever. They had a little graphic pop up for Clay Guida, and he was like, he is by far the oldest competitor on this card. We're like, why do you gotta do that?
Not just say the oldest competitor. By far the oldest card. By far. Shit.
Not even fucking close. This guy is a dinosaur on this card.
All right.
But like I said, I was with them and they were playing Call of Duty, and then I guess they were getting annoyed with Call of Duty, so they were like, you know what, Riggs, we're gonna hop over. I think it's Smite Night time.
Oh, I missed Smite Night. No.
You did. You missed Smite Night with Rick and Bryce and Trevor.
Oh, man.
And we play a Slash, right? And Trevor is playing Ganesh. And if you've ever played Slash with Trevor, he only plays Ganesh in Slash, and he has one build that he will go every single game, and that is a full damage 50% CDR Ganesh build.
Nice.
And I ended up getting 10 kills with Fafnir because of it.
I was going to say 50% of the time, it works every time.
But yeah, he goes Kronos Pendant, Deso, Bobble, Rangda's Mask, and then like he finishes it out with whatever damage items he wants after that.
How does Rangda's, does all the weakness disappear from Rangda's when you build it?
If you have full damage,
build?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once he finishes it out, it goes away.
Okay.
And it is like you say, he has 50% CDR plus Dessa passives plus Chronos Pendant passives.
Yeah.
So there'll be times where he'll ult like one person, kill him, and then a team fight breaks out like 20 seconds later, and he'll just ult the team fight. I'm like, how the fuck do you have that up again? He starts laughing. He goes, I don't know, dude. And so I was playing Fafnir.
You legit can initiate with the ult, and you can have the ult partway into the fight. Like if you pick up a kill, that ult's back.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
He's always top damage, I swear, because he'll just int for top damage. He'll just go try to 1v1 people all game.
Yeah.
It's a fun time to watch. We don't always win those games, but it's always a fun time, and especially that game. You know how like Slash starts, right, where everyone kind of gathers around the red buff. You look at each other, you might start fighting a little bit, but it's mainly the fight doesn't break out till the red buff.
Yep.
This game of Slash, for some reason, I'm walking out of base. I just barely passed our blue buffs, and there's a Mercury dashing me, and I was like, what the fuck? And then so there's just this massive brawl just takes place in our jungle on Slash. Before minions even spawn, before red buff spawned, this huge fight breaks out. It was so much fun because those early game 5v5s are so fun because it's like nobody has any damage yet.
Yeah.
So the fights last for so long and there's so much shit going on. There's so much chaos.
Yeah.
So there's just a massive brawl. It was like imagine you're at a bar, right, and like some dude breaks like a beer over some guy's head, and all of a sudden just the whole entire bar starts fighting. You know, that's kind of what it was. Like the Mercury dashes me in the jungle, and all of a sudden like it's just chaos. Just everyone's just using shit left and right. I think only like 2 people died total, but it was crazy.
I mean, still like that's hype.
I've never seen that before in Slash. Nobody ever does that. It's always just like waiting around red buff.
Wait, Riggs, is the new meta going from int for the red buff to int before the red buff?
Int before. You know what? You might be on something there, Dev.
We might have to test this in a couple games.
We might have to test this.
Okay.
We'll
see if the meta is changing.
I have one more fun story. So, Dev, I have a question for you.
All right, hit me with it.
Do you remember the last time that you have died to a buff camp in any game mode?
I don't know if I have. If I did, I feel like it was
Like maybe when you first started playing or something, you're like, didn't
It
really
was
know something.
early. It was early, or like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I can usually run out of it. The only other case would have been like if I had mystical mail and I was dead running away from a fight, and the mystical aggroed the camp, and like they got some cheap shots on me. Yeah.
So
that's the only case.
I had a fun time where I was playing Gilgamesh jungle one game.
Okay.
And we had a big old fight break out, and I'm leaving the fight at like 100 HP, if that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my speed buff's up. If I clear my speed buff, I'll hit level 12. I can get my second relic, and I'll be chilling, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not like I just walked into the speed buff and just died to it, but because I did try to go about it in like a smart way, where I was like, all right, I'll walk in, I'll one it, because I didn't have that much mana either, so I only had enough mana for like one ability. So I walked in and I used my one, and I killed the 2 minis, and I walk out. So I'm like, all right, now I just have the big one. I have Eye of the Jungle, so I'm getting a little bit of HP 5 because I'm in the jungle. I'm like, all right, I'm like back up to 100 HP. I walked back into the speed buff, and for some reason, I'm gonna say this is not my fault.
Yeah.
For some reason, you know how the speed buff has like that heavy attack it does after like a couple attacks?
Yeah.
It just started with the heavy attack, and it killed me.
Its attack chain didn't reset.
Its attack chain didn't reset, and it just like heavy stung me, and I just died. And I was like, I was baffled. I was like, what?
That's wild.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've like ever died to a buff camp like that. I can't remember a time I've ever have, and I felt like such a shitter. I was like, holy shit.
Well, here's the thing. Eye of the Jungle's strong. Like, that starter is strong. Like,
if I had Bumbas, I would have been fine because it heals you if you kill a camp.
Yeah.
Eye of the Jungle doesn't heal you, but it gives you HP 5 in the jungle, so it's kind of like a pseudo almost heal.
Right.
But like, so I was kind of using that to my advantage. I was like, all right, I'll kill the minis, walk out, heal up again a little bit, and then I'll go kill the big one. But yeah, the big one just didn't reset the attack chain and just stung me, and I died.
We
but
have to see if that's a feature or if that's like an unintended. Because if you de-aggro, you'd think it'd reset.
You would think. I wish I was like, I don't stream like ever really.
Yeah.
I wish I was streaming because then I could clip that. I was so shocked. And then the thankful part is though that nobody on my team really like cared. Like they were all fighting still, so it kind of just like popped up for a second. Like I forget, like Chief Centaur or whatever like killed me.
Yeah.
And then like I think there was too much stuff going on, so they didn't notice it. So I was like, whew, dodged a bullet there.
You really dodged one. Oh my god! Imagine if you were in Smite Night when that happened with the boys.
No, dude.
I would never hear the end of it. Down. You would never hear the end of it.
I did get some vindication though because SPL has been going on this weekend. And right before we started recording, I was watching the Kings versus Levi's set, and Panatom was playing Lancelot jungle, had a big old fight break out. He's riding away on his horse, 1 HP. He goes to get off his horse because he goes, oh, my speed buff's up. He dies to his speed buff. Chief Centaur killing Panatom in the set to determine who gets number 1 seeds for Worlds. Panatom's dying to a speed buff.
Chief Centaur's the number 1 seed.
I was like, fuck yeah, it's not just me. Panatom does it too. I felt so vindicated in that moment. I was like, god damn.
Oh man.
But that was it for my games. A lot of Smite, and I'm probably not gonna do that again where I play for that long.
Yeah, that's
a lot.
Like I've got to play other games, like just to break me of the funk. Like I don't know, sometimes you get into a Smite funk and you gotta play something else. Like I've been playing, some Blood Bowl, trying to up my skill, figure out how to be good at the game.
Yeah, I'm out on that game.
You're not on the. It was free. It was free, and we got it, and we're playing it. Where we got the Bocce Blood Bowl League. We're playing that. I think past few weeks have been just the same set of games, just because people having a hard time getting together to play their matchups. But I think we've got one game left before the next round. But yeah, I just wanted to see play versus the computer, just to figure out like what different teams do and like how to play different stuff,
Yeah, I will say if that game was your shit, I feel like that game was really, really cool for you because it's like there's so much different shit you can do in that game. It's such a strategic game where it's like, which by the way, this is the moment of the podcast where we talk about other games because Dep played one game and it's just me and Dep. So have fun.
Heck yeah.
This is not the Smite podcast anymore.
We're taking a step away from Smite. We'll come back to Smite, but for a little bit. non-Smite. But yeah, been playing the bubble, having fun. Been playing phone games, and I watched a sports game type movie last night.
Sports game type movie.
Yeah. Well, so it's an Adam Sandler movie, so take it as you will.
Okay. Hold on. Can I guess which one is it? Which sport is it?
Basketball.
Oh, it's the one where he's the scout.
It's the new one. He's the scout. Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it's really good.
It is phenomenal. Like, I went into it not expecting much because it's an Adam Sandler movie, but like,
what is that supposed to mean?
Like, honestly, with some of the comedians and like Will Ferrell, 80 to 90% of the time, he's not playing a character; he's playing Will Ferrell. Yeah. And so it's when they actually get into the character that I love the movie, you know?
Showing that they're actually like good actors as well, with just like funny
right.
dudes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, not just funny dude, but like the fact that they're a funny dude is always like a bonus when they have like quippy one-liners or something. But the movie can't just be quippy one-liners for me. And so the movie's called Hustle. It's on Netflix. I highly recommend it to everyone. Even if you like don't normally like sports type movies, like it's a good freaking movie.
Can I tell you a hot take speaking of Will Ferrell?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't like Will Ferrell or most of his movies.
Riggs?
I
feel like we're best friends right now. I also have that hot take.
I don't hate the dude. Like, I don't know. Every movie I've seen,
he plays the same character. He plays Will Ferrell.
People go bonkers over like Step Bros and like fucking what's the NASCAR one everybody loves?
Ricky
Talladega
Bobby
Nights.
Or Talladega Nights. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never like clicked with those movies. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just something. I don't really like Elf either for like Christmas movies. It's just
I'm not a big fan on Elf.
I don't know. Well, speaking of Christmas movies,
yes.
Fun fact.
Die Hard. Best Christmas movie.
Well, actually, there's a good thing too. I have a survey up right now for the next edition of the Feuding Grounds, which is more Christmas themed. Because we
love it.
We're gonna pre-record an episode and put it out for Christmas, since scheduling is not easy, and it's all Christmas themed. And one of the questions is, what is your favorite Christmas movie? So if you want to go fill that out, if you already have, you can do it again if you want. There's no limit. But I have never seen The Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch movie.
Grinch. Okay.
It's my girlfriend's favorite movie, and we started watching it.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey's another eccentric. He's one of those people who like gets really into the characters, but all the characters are Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Like he's a step above Will Ferrell, but Will Ferrell's still pretty far down there. Like
so
it's like, what's the difference between the Grinch and the Mask? Like they're both green and weird, you know?
Yeah. We didn't finish the Grinch. We got like halfway through, and then she got a phone call, and then we kind of stopped. But we'll have to pick back up. So far, I'm kind of lukewarm on it.
So it's again, controversial hot takes and all that. So and it's a drama, so I don't know how big you are in dramas, but Will Ferrell was in a movie, I think it's called Stranger Than Fiction, where he plays an individual. There's a woman writing a book, and in real life, like her writing the book is independent of like him just living his life, but her character in the book is him. So when she writes things about him, like they happen to him.
That's pretty cool.
Like he's like not like his normal like funny like Will Ferrell self, and so I'd recommend that if you're looking for a Will Ferrell redemption. But I love comedians being in not unfunny roles, but non-comedy movies,
Yeah. It always does throw me off, though, when they are, like, serious, because I don't know if you've watched, like, the more recent Star Wars projects or anything. Like Mandalorian.
I watched Mandalorian, and
so you remember where Bill Burr was in it?
That threw me off a little bit.
It threw me off.
I was like, is that fucking Bill Burr? And it's like
he plays like a Boston dude in Star Wars, but
right?
He's not like a funny guy. He's just like a serious like crime leader.
Yeah, and so it's like for that, like him being like a supporting character, I don't think it worked as well. Like I think they need to be primary or secondary for their role in a drama to fit well. If they're like tertiary characters, let them be funny.
Yeah,
because that's the reason why they're there.
Oh shit! It's
like
marbles.
Oh, it's marbles time?
Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. It's marbles time. I gotta win. Play three. Man. I gotta use the cool neon ball. All right, sorry.
The cool neon ball. Oh, man. play 3, it lets you pick your color. That's wild.
Yeah, if you're a Hazer sub, you get to. He has different marble balls you can use for if you type in a different number after. So there's an owl ball, there's a watermelon ball, there's like a red ball, and there's like a neon ball.
Okay.
The best luck I've had is with the neon ball. I get kind of close every once in a while with the neon ball.
Man, when you're in the streams and you start having luck with balls, you might be watching too much Acer. Who knows?
I gotta type in exclamation point grease as well. I gotta grease up the balls.
Oh, grease them up.
All the balls have now been greased.
Put some oil slicks out there. Do they slide more? What's the?
It doesn't do anything.
Oh, does it put it like a funny trail on them?
No, it just puts a little like command in chat. A Nightbot pops up and says all the balls have been greased.
Okay.
But what else have you been playing? Anything else besides Blood Bowl and watching anything else?
Blood Bowl, phone games.
You playing Marvel Snap? I'm guessing phone games.
No.
Like everybody else.
No, they not that one. I just like random games that pop up on my like. I'll be playing one game and it'll pop up another game as an advertisement. I'll be like, oh, I'll try that one out. And then it's either good or they put so many fucking ads in it that I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing this. And I uninstall it immediately.
Do you ever see that one, like, you'll be scrolling TikTok or like Twitter or something and you'll get the ad for that game? That pisses me off every time I see it because they purposely do it where the person playing it in the ad is dog shit at the game to make you want to like be like, I could do better, and then you go download it. But it's
I've seen the one
where like it's the like soldiers or whatever. There's different iterations of it. I see one where it's soldiers all the time, and it's like you have choices of these like gates you can walk through, and whichever one you walk through gives you like a bonus.
Yes,
it's like walk through like ×2 and it multiplies your R by 2.
Right,
like,
or
like,
plus 8,000.
Yeah, and they always pick the dumbest ones. I want to play those so
ones.
bad, but I know they're just ad filled.
They're fucking filled with ads. Yeah, it's complete BS.
Those ones are always so tempting because they, like I said, they do the perfect job of making you like irritated with the person playing it. They're like, why would the fuck would you pick +1 when you could have picked ×100? And it's like,
right.
It's so aggravating.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. And occasionally they'll get me, but for the most part, like I just see those and I'm just waiting for like the ad skip button. Although, pet peeve, when they hide the fucking ad skip button or you press it and it still takes you to like, oh, you want to install the app? No, I press skip.
They put a fake one. Yeah, they put a fake one and then the real one pops up like a couple seconds later.
Yeah, that shit should be illegal. Fuck that noise.
Fuck.
How about you, Riggs? You playing any other games and such?
So I'm still holding out on Pokemans until they release some stability stuff because I don't know if you've seen anything with new Pokemans, but
I just heard that there's new color games like Violet or something like that.
Yeah, it's the new mainline Pokemon games. Big deal. Pokemon's a fucking dominant franchise, right? Always will be.
Hell yeah.
But unfortunately, whether it's due to poor optimization or just the Switch is just not a very powerful console. And I think it's also a little bit because I think they rushed the development of these new games. Yeah. But they are not performing well.
I was going to say, I feel like Sword and Shield didn't even come out like a year ago or so.
It's been out for a couple of years at this point. But
okay.
I believe it came out the same year, or the last year that World was in person, I think, is when it came out.
Okay.
But which is still really close for a new Pokemon game to come out. But the games are like, they've sold really well. Obviously, it's Pokemon, but like the games performing wise, like people are dropping frames like crazy. You can't even play it in docked mode, or else like it's like a slideshow. People are like falling through the map. People like Pokemon are just like disappearing like crazy. So I'm waiting till that gets patched, and then I'm gonna start my Pokemon's journey. I'm excited. I think I'm gonna go with the grass type. I think it's Sprigatito, I think is the name of it. Little grass cat.
Little grass cat.
Yeah,
I've seen cat. So I don't know, they kind of typed themselves in with the starters after a while. You know what I'm trying to say?
Like all the starters are the same types.
All fire starters also have fighting.
Oh yeah, they definitely did that for a while. Yeah, they definitely did that. They've broken away from that recently.
Have they? Okay.
Yeah, there was a stretch though where there was 3 in a row where it was firefighting.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, switch it up, because like fucking what is it? Charizard's technically flying,
and then it's
did
just
they ever
fire.
change him to dragon or no? Because
when he mega evolves he can, but that's only in Gen 6. He gets Fire Dragon. But yeah, there was a stretch for a while where it was firefighting.
Yeah, so this is Gen 9 then, right?
This is Gen 9. I don't remember what the types are for the fully evolved versions. I've only seen, like, I'm trying to not see a lot of the Pokemon because I kind of want to, like, go into it blind, but yeah, I've seen a couple. I know that the fully evolved fire guy looks like a fucking just abomination.
Yeah.
He looks really cute. I don't know if you see any pictures of those like the first evolutions of them, the little babies. They all look really cute, and then they evolve into just monstrosities. I don't know. That's kind of why I want to go with the grass cat. I feel like it's the least obnoxious.
Yeah, I feel like the middle evolutions are always just like they're like,
just
okay, how can we the stepping stone to the final?
Yeah,
because like tier 1 evolution, like, okay, make it look cute, right?
I don't give a fuck about the tier 2. I just want to get to the third one. But if the third one looks awful, then I probably won't use it. Other than that, though, so I'm not playing Pokemon, but I will whenever it gets patched. I have been playing some good old-fashioned NCAA football. So I don't know if you know the story about this, Dep, but they had to stop making NCAA football games, or just NCAA games in general, but football was like the main one, right?
Right.
The last one they made was in 2015 because there was a big old lawsuit about not paying the college players. College players weren't allowed to get any sort of revenue share from anything because the NCAA rules prevented them from getting any income, because then that would break the title of being an amateur athlete, and that's what they all are. So they weren't allowed to make revenue off anything from them. So like if they signed a jersey, they weren't allowed to make any money off their own likeness, or images, or anything that they were in. That includes the games. And so there was a big old lawsuit because they were like, we're tired of this. These games are making a shit ton of money. Athletes aren't getting anything.
Right.
On and on and on. Now they've kind of resolved that. There's this thing called the NIL where all the players now can get sponsorships from the NIL and make a shit ton of money. So they're remaking college football. But because there's been a drought, there are these great people. Shout out to College Football Revamped. It's a big old mod team that basically went into NCAA Football 14 and modded the entire game to be current. So imagine if there was a new football game released.
That's fucking huge.
Imagine if they released a new college football game this year. That's what they've basically modded the old game to be this game. And it is crazy.
That's wild.
And
that is wild.
You have to have either a modded PS3 or a modded Xbox 360, or you can do it on PC. But I found my old 360 and I just sent it off to get modded. So I have a modded Xbox.
Modding
right
the 360.
I have a modded Xbox right now with Revamped on it, and holy shit, dude, it is crazy. I've been playing the shit out of that. I picked one of the worst schools, as you do, right? You pick one of the worst schools, and you turn it around, and you make it a big time school. I picked Eastern Michigan because they're green, and I like their jerseys, and I get to fuck up Michigan and Michigan State. I made them my rivals. So far, I'm 3 years into it. I went undefeated last season, but didn't get any respect, so I didn't get to play in the championship or the playoffs. So it's bullshit, and starting year 3 right now, so we'll see. But I've been playing a shit ton of that. It's so fun. If you're a fan of college football, I highly recommend it. The only problem is modding the Xbox is a little bit difficult, and finding a copy of NCAA Football 14 is fucking ridiculous. Because it's like those old Pokemon games. If you played an old Pokemon game, you want to find it. Obviously, they don't make them anymore. So if you want to find a copy of it, you have to like look to eBay or something like that, and they are crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So
I've got the list of Pokemon games up here, and Pokemon Red and Blue released in North America
all day.
September 1998, and like end of September too.
Do you want to know a fun fact that this is gonna make you feel real old? I was born a month before that.
That's crazy. That you're fucking as old as Pokemon.
Yeah,
how does that feel? How does that feel that a game series is still getting developed as old as you are? For the entirety of your life, you've had access to a game series. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking of, they remade Diamond and Pearl in November of 21. So that's what I was thinking of. Like
that was a different studio though. They outsourced that one.
Did they?
Yeah, they outsourced that one. That one was a little bit different too because they're kind of just like copy and pasting existing assets, changing stuff a little bit. but like for the most part, it's just a remake. But I think Sword and Shield came out in what, 2019?
Sword and Shield 2019 November. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's still only 3 years for the entire new generation of Pokemon.
And then there was Pokemon Tower Battle, Pokemon Home, Mystery Rescue.
There's so many. You don't need to go into all those. There's so many spin-off ones.
Yeah. There's Pokemon Legends, but then Scarlet Violet, November 2022. Like, I get that you kind of have to support an update and like bug fix the game for probably a year after it comes out with how the new games are, you know?
I mean, yeah. No, like, no game is ever perfect, but like you want to, at least get a certain level of polish, which this game definitely did not release with.
Right. And so that's kind of my problem with a lot of like modern games and like these games that it's like, okay, they're independent developers and we're going to be updating it, every 2 months or whatever it is, and like
all the live service games.
Yeah, and it's like sure, like continual development, but also like, could you just give me a fucking completed game for once? I think they're gonna try to do that with that new pirate game that's coming out. Have you heard about that one?
Skull and Bones, dude. That thing's been delayed like 1,000 times, which is cool. I mean, good.
But I'm like saying they could have released it and said, "Oh, we'll just keep fixing it as we go." So like, I don't know. I'd kind of rather hear of game delays than a shitty release.
I 100% agree after the debacle of Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk 2077, No Man's Sky was a huge one.
I was so amped.
Apparently that's finally an actual game now. No Man's Sky. Like it's closer to a finished game than it was when they released it.
I pre-ordered Cyberpunk, dude. I was so hyped to play Cyberpunk. I downloaded Cyberpunk. I load into Cyberpunk, dude, and my game crashes like 10 times. And then I had to restart, and then I'm walking around and I see people T-posing everywhere. And I'm just like, what are we doing here, guys?
Yeah. I was T-posing the other day, and I can't forget which god I played. I was like, oh, that's fun. Just because like that's not a norm in Smite, It's like when you see bugs, you're like, oh, hey, look at the bug, versus like, oh, fuck, another bug. Here we go.
That just reminded me. Oh my god. In one of those games last night, I was playing. It's back to Smite now. We're back to Smite.
Back to Smite.
One of the games I was playing last night with the boys, I was playing Thor and Slash.
Thor T-poses quite a bit, I feel like.
I went to go wall this Atlas, right? He was dashing at me. I went to go wall him, and I used my wall, and all of a sudden, he doesn't stop running at me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I wall, and I turn around, and I see he's still moving, so I turn back around, I look at it. He's just running on top of my wall. We were like, I kind of do like a double take, and then he realizes that he's running on the wall. He kind of stops and does a double take, and then like the wall disappears and he falls back down, and we both just kind of stand there. We're just like,
oh, what's going on here? Yeah, wow,
that was crazy. Also, shout out to T-posing gods, Bacchus. Doesn't T-pose, but his arm gets stuck down whenever you drink and do something. It's a classic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had that, but if you play Bacchus, you probably know what I'm talking about. Where you'll go to chug, and then like I don't know what causes it, but you go to chug and do something, and he just gets stuck running like this. Like,
yeah, gimped up shoulder.
Yeah, it's like his right arm kind of like just stops working.
Yeah, no, that's good. So here in the show notes, I have talking about not Smite games and Smite Christmas wishes. We have season 10 coming around the corner, month or so after Worlds. What are you wishing for season 10 of Smite? What do you want for Christmas?
This isn't necessarily something I'm adding into the game. I just want the Smite community as a whole to realize this. When you're playing Conquest, I wish. Here's my Christmas wish, right? Hey Santa, Hey, what's up? It's me, Riggs. Hope you're having a good day. I know it's holiday season, you're getting busy. Santa, this is what I want for Smite. Whenever we do Fire Giant as a team, right? Let's not run straight to Gold Fury and waste about 15 seconds, 20 seconds of our Fire Giant when we can go siege towers. I don't know why, but like I feel like a majority of the Smite players I play with have an obsession with beelining it to Gold Fury as soon as we do Fire Giant instead of sieging towers or objectives or anything like that. Like you can get gold after you do all that when you're running back, but like why do we like what is getting a Primal Fury gonna do for us when we already have fucking Fire Giant?
Right.
Like
you're better than the minions. let's go dive a tower.
The only one I will understand is Oni, but like anything other than Oni, which it happens more often than not, is it's like a primal or it's like a gold. Like why
Here's
are
the thing,
we
you get the primal
beelining there?
before you do the fire giant.
Yeah,
right?
you would think, right? You would think.
You would think.
But no, if we do fire giant, that's immediately as it's like a green light opens up right where you can go to Gold Fury. It's like the light turns green, everyone just runs as fast as they can to Gold Fury. I'm just like, what are we doing? So that's my wish, is for people to realize that that's not good. Or that's one of my wishes, I guess. We'll go back and forth here because I gotta think of another one, to be honest.
Okay,
That's just the first one I can think of.
I would like some new items for Smite Christmas. I think a new item tree for mages that addresses auto attacks would be good.
So like a different version of a ring tree, or just like a revamped ring tree kind of.
So here, not a revamped ring tree. And here's the thing, like I kind of like went hard in the paint and came up with like the entirety of the tree myself the other day. I was feeling hella creative.
Oh shit.
You know, like tier 1, obviously, like, you know, some 600 gold item with like 25 magical power on it or something. Have a couple middle tiers where it's, you know, it's got a little bit of attack speed, a little bit of power. One of them you could throw some movement speed on. I'm kind of modeling it after the katanas a little bit, you know, something along those lines. On the other side, oh, I got my paper here. I'm trying to casually say this. Maybe you got some pet and you don't have the attack speed or movement speed, but for the tier 4 items, like the
glyphs,
you know, it could be reworked. Tier 4 doesn't. Tier 3 is what I meant, but
okay.
you could make it so that these are glyph type items, but I was thinking something item gives you power, attack speed, movement speed, and then the passive is like Thanatos 2, where you gain movement speed towards low health targets, or it would activate when you're low health and give you speed running away. Could be an interesting thing. You already hate it.
I hate any movement speed passives like that. I feel like movement speed's a dangerous stat to be fucking with, yeah.
It is, and that's why we have it.
Also, I don't mean to laugh. I was laughing when you were saying this because I pulled up all the stats for the ring tree. You were like, oh, I want a tier 1, maybe like, you know, 20 something.
Oh,
20 something
yeah.
Power,
attack speed, movement speed. Yeah,
that's literally the tier 1 ring is 20 power, 600 gold. You're like, yeah, maybe like a tier 3 with like some attack speed, some movement speed, hasten ring, attack speed, power, movement speed.
Yeah.
You said maybe one with some 10 demonic curse.
And so
it's
kind of changing up hastened ring, right? Instead of hitting the auto and gaining the movement speed, it's like a health trigger for the movement speed.
Yeah.
But the benefit is because that's a health trigger, you have just like more health or more power on the item to begin with. So,
I was
you know, maybe
it's kind of similar.
yeah. And maybe by design too. You know, who knows? I tried to balance them, right? I'm not going to just come out with like egregiously overpowered items for the sake of overpowered items. Another item, you know, you got your power, attack speed, a little bit of movement, and dominance passive. You gain additional pen on your auto attacks.
That's not just demonic.
No, demonic is Xe.
That's fair, yeah.
You know, and demonic's actually got pretty low power. So I'm thinking higher power, you got the attack speed and you got the dominance passive. Additional pen on your autos. And then on the other side, the flip side of things, you know, and I tried to do the whole kind of like, I don't know if it's like you'd consider it Rangdas and Lonos, but like the plus and minus, where it's like if you're building it's one of those, it's better explained in person. My ramblings on a piece of paper aren't going to do well, but I tried to make items use mana, kind of how X-Ball Bolos does, and then when your mana pool drops to a certain percentage, the item like goes on cooldown. I just think that would be an interesting thing, and obviously it would be an item that you'd build later on in the game when you've got enough MP5 to sustain it better.
Yeah, that's there's not really that much messing around with that kind of stuff. Like the only thing I can think of is like Sands of Time passive, where it messes with like how much mana you have left. It gives you bonuses and shit.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
But
is there anything?
So
else
this one, no, the items I have, one makes your melee autos ranged, but it slows your attack speed down, and I specifically did that because of how Kwong. And the opposite one makes your ranged autos melee, giving you a power spike when you're doing melee, because obviously the range of the projectile changes. Like, I tried to have negatives in there without affecting it too much, and then when the mana pool percentage triggers, it's got like a 45-second cooldown. Like, there's enough time for you to regen enough mana for like it to kind of make sense on the item. I can't remember if I did like 35% probably. So enough that you've still got, you know, enough mana for abilities to get out or something. Like, you don't put yourself in a dangerous situation.
I see.
But I thought that would be interesting, changing up range
like,
to melees and
I'm a big fan of like new ideas like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like I don't know how you would do it. Like, that's the thing, but it could be something fun to play with. It'd be a huge coding thing, right?
Well, that's a dangerous topic right now. So
and I don't know how that would work with like Freya, where she's already got an ability that makes her autos ranged, you know. So just a
dangerous
neat
topic
mechanic,
right now. Coding is, I don't know. Let's throw it back to SPL. Have you seen the stuff that's going on with SPL?
Oh, well, I know you told us about the beads Aegis thing.
Yeah, so that's been
have that
since patched.
Right. What's the new?
So this weekend, right? There's been the World qualification. It's like the Phase 3 playoffs, but it has World qualifications on the line. And so obviously these games are very important. With that being said, there's been, I think, 4 sets total now that have been affected by full game crashes. And there's no way to like reset the game to a game state where you like that way you don't have to remake the entire game.
Okay.
And so there's been
no like quick
4 there's been 4 complete remakes of games, and 3 of them I believe were in sets with the Titans. Okay. And the Titans were winning 2 of those games. One of the games they had 2 Phoenixes down. It was like 35 minutes. They were like 15 gold ahead. They had 2 Phoenixes down and the game crashed and they had to remake the entire game. That happens. It's been happening a lot this weekend, and it's not good.
No.
Like, obviously, nobody wants that.
Although, isn't that like technically a separate game that they play on?
They play on a different client, and I think it's the servers that are having issues because people were trying to figure out what's going on. Some people thought it was like a bug with like Chronos movement ability and like Bracer, like movement stims and like interacting with Bracer in a really weird way. But I don't know if that's been confirmed. Somebody was like, it's a ward skin that whenever they clear the ward with that ward skin, it like fucks up the game. Some people are saying it's servers. Whatever the reason is not good, and so it's unfortunate. I feel bad for the Titans. Got affected the most by it because it happened, I think, in 3 of their games. They had to do complete resets.
That's
and
wild.
2 of them they were winning by a decent amount. Yeah, but not good. They put out a statement for it, but
I know there's like tournament allowed skins and stuff like that, and it's obviously like more fun to have skins in your game and such. But I mean, like if I was having crashes like this, I'd almost say default everything until we can figure it out. You know.
I'm a little surprised they don't already do that. At least let's do default skins, recolors, and masteries.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is how they promote like certain cosmetics. So like, you know, if a new skin comes out, they'll usually encourage them to use that skin. Be like, hey, use this skin. You know, I mean, they don't tell them to do that, but like, it's, you know, if they use a new skin, it's like it's advertisement basically. You know. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what they don't know exactly what.
Like if this was like if it happened to them once, it'd be like, listen,
shit happens.
You know, to make sure it doesn't happen again, we're going default for the next match or whatever, right? Just to, because like if it happens to the same team 3 times, there's got to be some defining factor, or
and that's why people causing it. That's why people were thinking it was like a Chronos thing,
right? Which
sucks because if it is related to one god,
right,
and you make them because the way they do remakes is you have to do the same picks. If it's a god issue, you have to repick that same god. Then it's probably gonna happen again. You know, like it's the whole thing. It's like it sucks. One of them I think was a Morgan bug, but which is still in the game. After 5 seasons. Or 6 seasons.
Every new god that you add affects their code. You know, so
that's what's crazy. I think Morgan came out the end of season 3. End of season 3. Yeah, end of season 3.
Here's the thing. I don't.
She still has game breaking bugs.
I don't think they would, if they knew how many more gods were going to be in the game and how that god would affect the game, I don't think they would have made that god back then if they knew. I think they would have gone with someone else.
I think it would have gotten implemented maybe not at that time, but I think it still would have been in the game.
Or they would have changed the ultimate to not be that.
Because that's the thing though, is I don't want to say they copy other MOBAs, but like it is a little bit of a copycat genre where, hey, this is a cool idea, let's implement it, like with Maui and Thresh and all that. I'm pretty sure League of Legends had a person get released at the same time that was similar to Morgan that could like ult into other people.
Yeah.
So, but sorry, I forget. Oh, what we were saying. We're still on
we're wish list.
Yeah, sorry,
yes.
a little bit of an SPL break there. Yeah, games been crashing, not good.
Yep. I wish for no crashes.
Yeah, I wish for stable servers. Stable servers, no crashes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are we still on? Are you still on your item tree, or am I on?
I'm pretty much doing new items that consume mana and change your style of auto attack, hitting a threshold, going on cooldown, and giving your base autos back.
Hell yeah.
I think that would be neat.
I, in a similar fashion to DEP, would like a new mechanic introduced into the game, which is always a scary thing because new mechanics, new ways to break the game. But the warrior tree is always lacking gods. We need more warriors. It's by far the smallest class in the game. They've taken some of our boys, fucking Raven, Nemesis,
honestly,
Thor, all those people. They were all warriors at one point.
Turn Raven back into a warrior, and yes, and make Lancelot a warrior.
I'm cool.
They're already there. Gods that give themselves shields are not fucking assassins. I'm sorry.
I'm cool with them being assassins, but
that's a sustained mechanic. That's not a goddamn.
Because if they give that, if they turn them back into warriors, what am I gonna bitch about? Because that means I can always say, hey, they took them away from the warrior class. We need more warriors. If they add them back, what am I supposed to say then? Yeah. But I would love.
These were originally warriors. We need some new ones. That's what you say.
Yeah. I would love a ranged warrior.
That could be interesting. Like someone throws spears.
I don't know, something like that. I don't know how they would do it. I don't know who would be the right suitor for that. But I know how I always used to, make Furia a warrior. Partially, I wanted that was because I think it'd be interesting to have a ranged warrior in the game. I'm pretty sure every other class has
base autos to be ranged, or do you want an ability that makes the autos ranged?
I want base autos to be ranged. Because every other class, I think, except for Assassin, which doesn't really make sense for an Assassin, to be honest, but, I think every other class has a one or two gods in that class that, break the tradition, right? Like, you have Alquang as a mage who's a melee mage. You have ranged guardians and melee guardians. You have hunters like Cernanos who have, melee passives. Right? He's not like, a melee god, but he has melee passive and stuff like that.
Right.
You have examples.
Tsukiyomi, he gets those ranged autos after his ranged abilities.
The
dude's got good range on him.
That's like pseudo range. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But we don't really have anything like that in the warrior class.
There's nothing like that for warriors. Yeah.
Which, obviously balance reasons it might be a little bit hard to do, but I think we need new warriors anyways. Warrior class is pretty dry. I think it'd be cool to have a ranged type of warrior. If that happens to be Freya, who knows? That'd be kind of cool.
Right.
But, I'm not gonna hold.
Here's the thing: they could style it after Freya.
I mean. The funny thing is too is anytime they pull from mythology, it's almost I don't know. I'm not super into mythology, but I know a little bit about Greek and Roman and stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost most of those gods and deities could just be warriors. So they have a pretty big pool to pull from.
Really any god could be a warrior. I guess it depends on how much magic is associated with that god,
Or even I don't know, I was gonna say a guardian, make him a warrior. They already kind of have that with some guardians, but a magical warrior kind of thing. I don't know, some type of ranged warrior or magical warrior in some type of way. I think it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it's not like they're lacking sources to pull from. There's so many mythologies, so many pantheons. There's warriors everywhere. So
yeah, what pantheon do you think should get the warrior? Because Ishtar's Egyptian, right? So we just had an Egyptian god. Maui is the
Polynesian, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm I'm not super familiar with a ton of pantheons. This is more of a fro.
Or
question,
no, Ishtar's Babylonian.
Yes.
I thought Ishtar was Egyptian. Okay.
Dude, just because she looks like Neith doesn't mean she's Neith, all right? She's Neith 2.0.
You're right.
I don't know. This is more of a fro question because I'm not super familiar with a lot of pantheons, but I would probably, I don't know. I guess maybe
Honestly,
Greek.
Polynesian.
Polynesian could make sense too.
Yeah, like you've only got Pele and Maui.
I feel like there's more like available options to pull from though, from like Greek and Roman and stuff. But I'm sure they don't want to keep on doing Greek and Roman gods.
Here's the thing. What was I just looking at? I think Romans got way less than Egyptian. Is Egyptian the largest pantheon next to Greek?
Yeah, Greek
is
by
largest.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah, then
they
I think
could they could
Roman
stand
and
to
Egyptian
do.
up there.
They could
and
do
Norse too. Norse has a lot.
Oh, Norse has a lot. What was I just looking at? Egyptian's closer to Mayan. I think.
We could do maybe like another Arthurian one, maybe. Make like a reign because
there are more Knights of the Round Table. Like go fuck it. Like
Arthurian could do it.
I don't care. Like King Arthur
like
doesn't have to be the only warrior.
Magical warrior from the Arthurian. That'd be kind of sick, maybe. Isn't the rumor they were gonna do like they're like a Black Knight or something from Arthurian?
That would be they've got the Black Knight skin for Osiris.
I'm not talking about okay, that doesn't matter. They have a Cthulhu skin for AMC.
Yeah, they've got a lot of Cthulhu skins.
But I was gonna make a joke there. I was gonna say the Black Knight, like not talking about the Martin Lawrence movie, but
oh yeah, that's I mean, for what it is, it's not horrible. Like it could be a lot worse.
That's a throwback right there. I haven't seen that movie forever.
Yeah,
but for some reason, anytime I hear Black Knight, I just think of Martin Lawrence.
Or what about some more Slavic gods? Just Chernobog and Baba Yaga. Some voodoo or Yoruba.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck now on the Arthurian. I kind of want an Arthurian, like Knights of the Round Table, magic warrior or ranged warrior. I don't know. Maybe both. Magical ranged warrior. There you go. Boom.
There you go.
Done. Pack it. Ship
Easy
it.
peasy.
There you go, Smite.
We like it.
You have one more wish.
I
did 2.
Oh, do I have?
Oh, I did 2. I don't know if you want to do 2.
Stable servers. I think we can both wish for that.
All right.
If more people wish for it, it might manifest.
Get out of here, INAP. I don't even know if that's who they use anymore. I know that was at one point the server.
Right, they were bad. Yeah, I like the idea of more gods. Start balancing the classes more. Like I know it's like you got plenty of mages. Like fuck if we need another mage. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we don't need more mages.
And I feel like there's just as many assassins as there are hunters.
Listen, the only thing that matters is there's way more of every other class than there are warriors.
Hunters.
Right?
Yeah.
It's sad. You can't even fill 2 bars of the warrior class. Every other class has at least 2 bars.
Yeah.
Like 2 rows filled.
Yeah, in Smite game looking at the gods.
Yeah. Mages have almost 4 or like 3 and a little bit, but
yeah,
come on.
Here's the thing, like I know Smite wants to to give every god something unique about them, but you almost don't. Or you could have it be like abilities don't all need to be like, oh, look at this new shape or something like that, like they don't have to be so like introducing a new mechanic unique, right? Like the Gilgamesh dropkick, like that's great. That's Gilgamesh's thing. Like, people will play the new god because it's a new god and because you're going to release it strong if you're smart, right? And that's why people like it.
As long as they have one cool new unique thing, that's all I care about.
Right.
Like, the whole kit doesn't have to be great. Like, Maui, like, his abilities are kind of, like, they're all pretty unique, but, like, his ult's kind of the crazy one, right? But, like...
Yeah, He's got the fucking grappling hook. He's got the ult. He's got the fucking teleport to me protection field. Like he's got so much.
As far as like a new targeter, like his one's just a line, right? His 3 is a circle.
Right.
His 2 is a bigger circle, and then his ult's the cool one because it's the circle, but it like launches people.
Yeah.
Lancelot, right? He has 2 lines. And he has a little cone. But his ult is the cool one. It's a big old field. Like, give me like one cool, unique ability.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. Gilgamesh, his leap, it puts down like the lifesteal field. His 1, just a circle around him. Dropkick, that's technically a rectangle with some funky movement.
Yeah, but the dropkick is sick though,
The dropkick is sick, yeah. But like I'm saying, like, what is it? I think
it doesn't need to be crazy.
Tsukiyomi's like semicircles, or are those technically rectangles beside him for that one? Is his 2?
His 2? I don't know. I play
the
on
one that does
cast, so
one side silences, one side disarms or something. I don't know.
I play on mostly instant cast, so I don't see ability reticles a lot.
Okay.
I could not tell you. All I know is I press it and I do some flailing shit and then I stun people. So
yeah. Here's the thing. You give the warrior a leap or a dash. You give them a way to sustain themselves. You give them a CC, and then you give them a fun ultimate. That's the formula for a warrior. And then have their passive either deal with mitigation or sustain.
Yeah, give them sustain of some kind and call it.
And then of course, like, you've got the unique, like, I don't want to say passive meters, but like what is it? Cthulhu one has it where like it's part of his passive or something. What are they called? The little objects on your screen, like when Cabrakan gets hit by autos, the meter
passive
fills
meter?
up. It's not passive though, because it's like additional ability effects.
Yeah,
but it's
your abilities have passives that have meters sometimes. Because sometimes your passive doesn't have a meter, but abilities will have passive.
Your passive doesn't have a meter, but abilities have passive. So ability, passive, graphic.
So like for Set, right? How Set has two clones, but it has you don't really have a good way of visualizing that, so they have the two things, the little bars that fill up. So it's like your ability passive meter.
That's the one. And then the little dots that track how many auto attacks you've landed for the increased attack speed. The Odin thing where it's technically kills inside of his ultimate that give you bonus power, and it tracks that for you. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
Throw in one of those on an ability. GG's. Oh, I think those are some pretty good wishes. More warriors, stable servers, new items, and what was your first one?
Don't do Gold Fury after doing Fire Giant.
Smart randos.
Don't beeline the Gold Fury as soon as we finish Fire Giant.
Right. All right. I think we can ask something of our community here.
Is it new CC time?
It is new CC time. The new community corner.
Welcome to the new community corner. I'm your host, Dep Nation. And it's time. I don't know what I was going for there.
It's time.
New community corner. I will once we finish recording, but it is going to be make the ultimate smite god. And what we mean by that is taking it back to when we were making gods from existing abilities. Same concept, except for now you are pulling from each class. So, for example, let's say I'm the biggest fan ever of, let's say I'm a huge fan of Amaterasu's passive, right? It's a pretty good passive. So let's say I want my god to have Amaterasu's passive. Well, that means I can no longer take any ability from the warrior class. And so on and so forth. You can mix and match however you want. You can do an assassin's passive, whatever. But once you use something from that class, you cannot use it again. So pick and choose your ultimate character. It's going to get a little messy because it's like, magical and physical, whatever. Don't worry about too much like that. Yeah. Just think cool kits you can make. There's a lot of good abilities in the game, as we've learned, as we've done the specific class ones. There's some things about abilities we did not know before, and you're kind of like, holy shit, that's bloated, I know, right. I remember Ymir passive was a big one that we all talked about.
Ymir passive is huge. That's gonna get picked. That's gotta get picked.
Ymir passive was an honorable mention. But yeah, so pick and choose one ability / passive from each class, and then if you want to do like the auto attacks, but I don't think that's that important for these
auto attacks. You could even pick character model. Shoot, let's have fun with it.
Nobody picked Khepri. Let's just want to die on cooldown.
Right. Cthulhu.
Khepri, Cthulhu, yeah. It's fucking big old chonkies.
Yeah.
But I will in the Discord. How long we usually do? Well, I guess just until we get enough responses, we can do it. But yeah. One ability from each class and then a passive.
Yeah. Five abilities, or 4 abilities and a passive. 5 classes, 1 from each.
Works out beautifully. There's only 5 classes and you get 5 slots. Look at that. Crazy.
Man, it's like we planned this shit, Riggs. It's like we planned it. Who knew?
Dude, we're so good.
We're so good. Alrighty, Riggs. Well, I think we have some people to thank. We have Sadons for the thumbnails. We have Raging Cajun for artwork commissions. And we have all of you lovely patrons. And your names are Ariosbestus, Briss Chassion, Weatherman Keith, Jade Flagon, Baseball, Griff, Bombi, Danny, Caveman, Neo, Coffin Monkey, CDR Litz, Gilly, Snorlax, Weatherman, Adios, Sir Embers, K Brojo, Freak, Stoff, Backlash, Zedon, Dr. God, Fokker, Lantern, Reese, Warlord Yo, Bats Kid, Echo Dunk, Doc, Necros, Otter Joe, Riggs, Dracon, Glen Wiggle, Granite Boys, Camel House, Void vs. Void, Enbright, Sloppy Sanch, Scion Gemini, Batman, Sandman, Aquasoft, Kilowatt Man, I'm a Hater, Mr. Man 77, Colorado, Amber Bug, Folk Hero, and the Big Red. That list just feels like it keeps on getting longer and longer. Big heart hands, we love y'all.
Thank you.
Oh.
I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know why I do the things I do sometimes.
I was gonna say it's early, but it's not. Did you
like
just wake up from your nap?
No, I'm just an idiot.
Okay.
There's nothing more to explain than that. I'm just dumb.
Oh, man. All right. Well, why don't we get on out of here? Let everybody have a great day.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you on the other side of the battle.